So well, I created a video not too long ago about the most useless items in Genshin Impact that should be replaced, or they should not exist yet. And due to your immense support and love on that video, I came up with one more idea, and that is top 10 things miHoYo should add in Genshin Impact. So yeah, this video is going to be very interesting, superb, mind-blowing. And before starting off this video, I want you guys to hit that subscribe button. I'm still waiting. Okay, so let's start. At number 10, we have buffing the old characters. So till now, miHoYo has released almost 50 characters in the game. Moreover, it also lets players to get their hands on each type of element for free at the start of the game. And of course, it's a gacha game. And just like any other gacha game, developers always try to introduce a stronger character than the previous one to earn profits. However, it is very sad to see that as you make progress in the game, you forget about the starter characters like Amber, Lisa, Kaya, and the Traveler perhaps. I'm talking about gameplay. And for endgame players, starter characters are not worthy of their investments. And trust me, I loved Lisa. I thought I'll use her till the game ends, but I was wrong and that's not the case. So therefore, miHoYo should add or try to give them some spotlight by providing them with significant buffs so that they don't become useless later in the game. Please do it, miHoYo. I want to use Lisa again, please. At number 9, we have toggling Constellations. So Constellations helps a lot of players in increasing character stat and damage, if I'm not wrong. The more constellations you can achieve on a character, the more broken you can build them. Although getting a tons of constellations on every character is good, but free to play players, just like me, can only dream to receive them on a 5-star character. Like, I have so many 5-star characters and I have only Jean C1 unlocked, and that's only when I lost 50-50. Instead of Ganyu, I got Jean, but it was an accident, you know, an accident happens. But yeah, back to the point. Many veteran players are playing this game from day one, I guess, and are asking to add this feature specifically for one character. Just like Bandit C6 influences all the normal attacks to Pyro, which makes him quite unuseful for physical damage dealer comp, and by letting players switch off a character, Constellation can help him in solving this issue, I guess. And moreover, whales who have the tendency to maximize the character's constellations to C6 can make a guide for low spender players or free to play players, I guess. Okay, at number 8, we have a feature to pick enemies drops easily. Well, it's quite disappointing that even after months of release, players have to collect all the drops from their opponents manually. Well, I know it's just based on personal opinion. Some players like to pick up the objects manually and some want to collect them all in one click. But yeah, let me tell you, enemy drops a lot of important items which are needed to ascend characters in the game, and therefore it would be best if miHoYo solves this problem soon by making some in-game changes. And other than that, developers can add a new item that can collect all the opponent's drops in one go. So yeah, miHoYo, please add this feature. At number 7, we have giving players access to 5-star characters constellations for free. Okay, now listen to me first. Being in a gacha game, free-to-play players just like me, yes, I mentioned myself again as a free-to-play player. Please give me YouTube money so that I can whale. So yeah, free-to-play players can only dream of maximizing their favorite 5-star character constellation. Interestingly, miHoYo can let players redeem some of the free constellations from shops for Primo Gems. Well, currently players can redeem 4-star characters of their constellations from the shops, so therefore letting them to use the same feature for 5-star characters would be significant addition, I guess. And yeah, many gacha games use this idea to motivate players to play the game daily, and miHoYo can also adapt to this idea. Number 6, buffing Ryzen system in Genshin Impact. Well, Ryzen is the most important type of currency in the miHoYo's gacha title. You need Ryzen to farm for Mora, Hero's Weight, and other ascending materials, doing domains and all, and especially grinding perfect artifacts. And yeah, it's the biggest problem I also experienced when I was grinding artifacts. It's not enough, and I think it'll never be. But yeah, just like me, currently players are already facing problems because of the lack of available Ryzen. And trust me, after the arrival of Inazuma, the situation have become more worse. Therefore, miHoYo should focus on increasing the Ryzen system at least 240 from 160 or reduce its refresh rate, and by introducing a new Ryzen system, players will be able to spend more time in the game. At number 5, we have the Hydro Elemental Resonance. Okay, so now this title majorly revolves around building a team composition that can synergize with one another to bolster efficiency. Well, this is where Elemental Resonance becomes important, and Hydro is probably the weakest amongst the 7. Well, Well, I think it provides a meager 30% buff to healing and 40% damage reduction against pyro, but it does not enhance attack power for hydro units, and this is something that makes the entire element feel like it is made for support unit. But yeah, the existence of child with an E says otherwise. Safe to say MiHoYo should come with some lucrative changes to make this elemental resonance viable as it did for the Geo element and characters. So yeah, do something about the elemental resonance of hydro element. Barbara is cute though. Okay, at number 4 we have weekly boss reward. Well, now the drop rate from the world bosses is quite absurd, and in most cases it gives you items that you don't really need. And not to forget, the abysmal drop rate for weapon prototypes makes it impossible for players to pick them up, and MiHoYo should really add something that should fix this issue on a serious note really. At number 3 we have adding new endgame. Well, the endgame situation of the title feels dull if you ask me. And why I'm saying this? Well, it's because it only points towards the abyss floor. Player can only farm artifacts and weapons from the domain, which makes it a bit repetitive. And yeah, this is where the studio should look to make some necessary changes in order to keep the long time players feel motivated to stick around, like adding some new things, some new ways to enjoy the game. Like I have seen many players invent their own games in Genshin Impact, like time trials, speedrun, mono team, high damage challenge, etc. So yeah, instead of players making their own game, I want MiHoYo to introduce something like that, which makes this game more fun to play and all. So yeah, add something new MiHoYo and bring back Wintrace event. At number 2 we have adding new story quests. Well, the studio needs to add lore based story quests for each character instead of dialogue events. And yeah, this will allow the player base to learn about the characters and dive deep into their backstory. And yeah, this will serve a great way for the players to utilize their daily allocated story quest keys, which is useless most of the times. And yeah, many characters like Fischl and Noel and others don't have a proper story quest in the game, so I think MiHoYo should add it soon enough. And I don't like repetitive hangout events. For real, I don't like hangout events. And finally at number 1, may go by the Archon. Okay, it's a joke. It's a joke. Okay, at number 1, trading amongst players. Well, now this game offers no opportunity to trade items or characters in the game, and trust me, adding this feature could make a big impact in the game. And yeah, it will also help players to pair the right character with the right weapon. MiHoYo could add this feature as a way to make more money by selling items at a reduced price and offering Primogems or Genesis crystals for sellers. And yeah, trust me, this will make a huge impact in the community if we can trade our items with other players. But yeah, other than these changes, there might be more features MiHoYo needs to add to the game. What additional changes do you think should be added with the next update? Let us know in the comments down below. And now, take care my dear hillbilly trolls.